welcome to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm your host Sam and you're watching Daily Immigration News, where we bring you the latest updates on immigration and global politics. So let's jump into today's headlines. First up, Trump administration escalates immigration crackdown, targets sanctuary cities and officials. Trump cuts Fauci security detail amid ongoing tensions. Fauci arranged private protection after Trump's decision to end NIH security. US House passes Laken Riley Act as Trump tightens immigration laws. The US House has passed the Laken Riley Act, requiring the detention of undocumented immigrants charged with theft. Named after a murder victim, the act aligns with President Donald Trump's stricter immigration policies. Trump threatens new tariffs on Russia to end Ukraine war. President Donald Trump has warned Russian President Vladimir Putin to negotiate peace in the Ukraine war or face heavy tariffs. Trump visits California wildfire devastation in first trip of second term. President Donald Trump is visiting California to see the damage caused by wildfires, marking his first trip of his second term. White House shares photos of deportation flights in Trump's immigration crackdown. The Trump administration has launched one of the largest deportation operations in the US history, deporting hundreds of illegal immigrants right now. Trump's Pentagon pick Pete Hegseth paid $50,000 to settle 2017 sexual assault allegation. Federal judge blocks Trump's birthright citizenship order, declares it as unconstitutional. Trump plans to reach out to North Korea's Kim Jong-un amid global tensions. 22 states sue to block Trump's birthright citizenship executive order. Attorneys general from 22 states have filed a lawsuit to prevent the enforcement of President Trump's executive order. Tragic death of Gaza teen during ceasefire sparks outrage. Putin suggests Ukraine war could have been avoided with Trump in office. So these were some of the major headlines, and now jump into the details. Firstly, Trump administration escalates immigration crackdown, targets sanctuary cities and officials. President Trump is pushing harder for immigration laws to be followed, telling federal prosecutors to investigate local officials who do not cooperate with immigration enforcement. The new rules target sanctuary cities like New York and Chicago that limit cooperation with immigration efforts. Local and state officials could face charges if they interfere, and the Justice Department may challenge laws that make enforcement harder. This move is part of Trump's push to tighten immigration controls. The recent passing of a law in Congress also requires immigrants accused of theft to be detained, increasing pressure on cities that do not follow these federal rules. Trump cuts Fauci's security detail amid ongoing tensions. President Donald Trump has removed Dr. Anthony Fauci's security, which was initially provided by the National Institutes of Health (NIH). This decision is part of Trump's ongoing actions against officials who served under him. Dr. Fauci is a key figure in the US response to COVID-19, has faced threats due to his role. After the security detail was removed, Fauci arranged for private protection. Trump dismissed concerns, saying that former officials like Fauci can afford their own security. Well, this is another chapter in Trump's conflict with former high-ranking officials. Next up is US House passes Laken Riley Act as Trump tightens immigration laws. The Laken Riley Act, the first law signed by President Trump in his second term, has been passed by Congress. It requires the detention of undocumented immigrants charged with theft-related crimes. The act is named after Laken Riley, a student killed by an undocumented immigrant. Trump's administration continues to push for stricter immigration policies, aiming to detain and deport immigrants involved in crimes. Some in Congress argue the law may violate due process and could cost billions in the future. Trump threatens new tariffs on Russia to end Ukraine war. President Donald Trump has warned Russian President Vladimir Putin to negotiate peace in the Ukraine war or face heavy tariffs on Russian exports to the US and other countries. While Trump has expressed admiration for Russia in the past, he now stresses the importance of ending the war to prevent further loss of life. Russia denies any secret talks with Trump and rejects claims of peace discussions. Despite this, Trump remains firm on using economic pressure to end the conflict. Trump visits California wildfire devastation in first trip of second term. President Trump is visiting California to see the damage caused by wildfires, marking his first trip on his second term. He criticized the state's response to the fires and hinted that federal disaster aid may depend on California adopting voter ID laws. Trump blames environmental policies for limiting water access, which he says worsens the fires. State officials, however, argue that climate change and poor forest management are the real issues. During the trip, Trump will also visit North Carolina to meet victims of Hurricane Helene. White House shares photos of deportation flights in Trump's immigration crackdown. The Trump administration has launched one of the largest deportation operations in US history, deporting hundreds of illegal immigrants. Photos released by the White House show migrants being deported on military aircraft. This move is part of Trump's campaign to crack down on criminal aliens, with many of the deported individuals convicted of serious crimes, including terrorism. Trump supporters praise the action, but critics argue it separates families and ignores the human rights of immigrants seeking safety. Trump's Pentagon pick Pete Hegseth paid $50,000 to settle 2017 sexual assault allegation. Pete Hegseth, nominated by Trump for defense secretary, admitted during his confirmation that he paid $50,000 to settle a sexual assault accusation from 2017. The woman said the incident happened in a hotel in California. This information came out as the Senate reviewed his background. Despite the acquisition, Hegseth passed a key Senate vote, showing he still has support for the role. The payment has also brought up other past issues like claims of domestic abuse and also heavy drinking. The Senate will soon vote on whether to confirm him for the position. The revelations have intensified scrutiny around his personal conduct and also previous accusations of domestic violence and abuse and also of heavy drinking. Well, the final confirmation vote is expected soon. Federal judge blocks Trump's birthright citizenship order, declares it as unconstitutional. A federal judge, John Coffenor, blocked an executive order issued by President Donald Trump that sought to end birthright citizenship, calling it bluntly unconstitutional. The ruling came in response to a legal challenge brought by 4 Democratic led states. Birthright citizenship guarantees that children born on US soil are citizens, regardless of their parent status. Trump's order aimed to curtail this right, which has long been settled law in the US. However, the judge's ruling halts the implementation of the policy for now, and Trump plans to appeal the decision. Trump tells world leaders at Davos, America is back and open for business. In a speech to the World Economic Forum in Davos, President Donald Trump announced that America is back and open for business. He laid out plans to lower taxes for companies that produce goods in the US, encouraging more domestic production. Trump also called for lower global interest rates to boost the economy. Additionally, he also mentioned possibly declaring a national energy emergency to speed up energy infrastructure projects and highlighted the importance of reducing oil prices to help end the Russia-Ukraine war. His remarks were part of a larger strategy to strengthen both the US economy and its global role. Trump plans to reach out to North Korea's Kim Jong-un amid global tensions. President Donald Trump announced his intention to engage North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in discussions as part of efforts to resolve the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Trump reiterated his stance on resolving global conflicts through diplomacy and warned of potential taxes, tariffs, and sanctions on Russian goods if peace is not achieved. Additionally, Trump signed multiple executive orders on his first day back in office, including policies related to immigration, the Paris Agreement, and also the LGBTQ rights. He also reaffirmed his support for the H-1B visa program, acknowledging that America needs skilled workers from around the world. 22 states sued to block Trump's birthright citizenship executive order. Attorneys general from 22 states have filed a lawsuit to prevent the enforcement of President Donald Trump's executive order that aims to end the birthright citizenship. The order challenges the century-old practice of granting citizenship to all children born on a U.S. soil, regardless of their parents' immigration status. Legal experts and immigrant rights advocates argue that birthright citizenship is settled law under the U.S. Constitution, making Trump's order highly controversial. The lawsuit is expected to lead to a protracted legal battle as the president pushes forward with his hardline immigration agenda. Tragic death of Gaza teen during ceasefire sparks outrage. 13-year-old Zakaria Barbak, born with a severe medical condition requiring a lung transplant, was tragically killed in Gaza shortly after a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Despite his excitement over the ceasefire, Zakaria was reportedly shot by an Israeli sniper while searching for wood. His family expressed grief, questioning how a sick child could pose a threat. The Israeli military stated that they were unaware of the incident. Zakaria's death has amplified the ongoing tensions and highlighted the unclear boundaries in Gaza's buffer zones, where civilians continue to face risk. Putin suggests Ukraine war could have been avoided with Trump in office. Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed his belief that the Ukraine crisis may have been prevented if Donald Trump had won the 2020 US election. In an interview with Russian state media, Putin endorsed Trump's claims that the election was stolen from him and suggested that Trump's presidency would have led to different outcomes, including the conflict in 2022 Ukraine. Putin praised Trump as smart and pragmatic and hinted at the possibility of discussing both the Ukraine war and energy prices in a future meeting. That's all for today's update. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. We'll be coming back with more updates tomorrow. So stay connected, stay tuned and keep watching Immigration and Jobs Talk Show.